Hello everybody, and we are now tackling Lab 10, which is using IPSec tunneling. Let's continue. First thing that we're going to do in this lab is configure a host to attempt to negotiate an IPSec VPN. So, we need to make sure that we are connecting to PC10 v2023-06 10 IPSec VM10, which we are, and we're going to press Control-Alt-Delete. We already have the admin username in there, so we're going to just type our password and press the arrow. If the network, we can check out step 1. If the network banner is shown, we can select no. It may have disappeared. So what we want to do now is click on our magnifying glass and go into local security. And we'll see that it's local security policy, and we're going to click on that. Step 3. In the left pane, we're going to look at IP security policies on the local computer. So this one right here. We want to select it. I'm going to also expand. There's nothing in here. So we have nothing, so we're going to click 4, and we're going to right click on some empty space here and create an IP security policy. Now we're going to have the wizard. We're on step 6. And we're going to hit next. Okay, so let's click next. And we are done with step 6. Now we want to name this, so we're going to press our type text here to overwrite that. And we are going to click next. This is step 7 that we just completed. On the requests for secure communications plays, we are going to leave the default. Everything should be unchecked. Do not, again, everything on this page is unchecked. Click next. On the completing the IP security, we want to verify that the edit properties is checked off on this page. This is step 9, and then we can go ahead and click finish. Now on the structure reality IPSec policy attempt window, we want to click add. We're on step 10. And then we want to run the wizard by clicking next. This is step 11. We want to leave that this rule does not specify a tunnel, and leave this selected and click next. Step 12 is done. All network connections is selected. This is next. Step 13 is done. On the IP filter, we are going to click add. And then in here, we're going to type the name Structure Reality IP Filter List, and then click add. 14 and 15 are completed. On the IP filter wizard, we're going to click next. We can leave the description field empty and confirm that it says mirrored. This is checked off. Click next. On the IP traffic source page, we're going to leave any IP address and then click next. Step 18. On the traffic destination page, we are going to leave any IP and select next. 19. On the IP protocol, we're going to leave any, again next. That is done. On the completing, make sure that the edit properties is not checked anymore, and we can click finish. We are done with step 21. You now are returned to the IP filter window. We're going to click OK. That's 22. Once you're here, we're going to make sure this is selected and then click next. Make sure that you check the dot is that you click on the dot, click next. Step 23 is done. We're going to, on the filter action, we're going to confirm that use added wizard is checkboxed right here. And then we're going to select add. And then we're going to click next. Step 24 and 25 are done. We're going to, on step 26, you're going to enter the name, and that is going to be encrypt some of the things, and then click next. We're going to leave the negotiate security option selected and click next. We're going to make sure that we select allow unsecured communication if a secured connection cannot be established, and then click next. That's step 28. 29, we're going to make sure integrity and encryption are selected and click next. And then on the completing the IP security filter action wizard page, we're going to confirm that the edit properties is not checked, which it is not, and we're going to select finish. Step 30 is done. You are returned to the security rules wizard filter action, and you want to make sure that you check the radio button that encrypt some things is selected, and then go next. On the authentication method page, we're going to use this string to protect the key exchange pre-shared key, and we're going to type and you're going to hit the type text in there. Make sure you select the box. You're going to do that and then hit next. 31 and 32 are completed. You can select those. We are now on 33, where we make sure that after we've done this, completing the security rules, if it's checked off, so we want to make sure that it is not, and then select finish. Now we're turned to the IPSec policy, and we can make sure that the IP structurality, IP filter list, IP roles, and its checkbox is selected. It is. So we're going to go and click OK. 34. Now you return to the local security window where a newly created IP policy is named and is displayed. So we're right here. That is displayed on the local security policy. And we want to right click on this IPSec policy attempt and then assign. And then we want to click the score button to make sure everything was done correctly. Now we want to right click on the structurality IPSec policy and go and select unassign. That's step 27. Leave this policy window open. That's step 38, and we can confirm the work. And now we're going to configure the host. Okay, so now we are on part 2 of our assisted lab 10 using IPSec tunneling. So in this lab, we're leaving this window open, but we're going to connect to PC20, and you can click the fast link here to change you over, or you can go up here and change it however you want. Now we're going to hit Control-Alt-Delete or press the link, and then we already logged in as admin. We're going to put our password in and click Next. So now we are going to configure this host. So if there's no network banner that pops up, you're going to click No. If there's a banner showing, you're going to click No. I don't have one, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to click the magnifying glass to start the type, and I'm on step 3. I'm going to do the local security policy. Click on it. I'm going to go for IP security policies on this local computer. And I'm going to right-click Create an IP security policy. So I have just completed steps 4 and 5, and I am on step 6 when you get to the IPSec policy wizard. We're going to click Next. And in here, we're going to, on step 7, use the type text, and hit Next. We are going to, this is request for secure communications. We're going to leave everything as it is and click Next. We're going to make sure that the edit properties is checked, so we can go into that. And now that is step 9. And we are going to click on Add in step 10 for the Structured Reality IPSec Policy Required Properties window. So let's go ahead and hit Add here, and that is step 10. We're going to click Next. That is step 11. Okay, so on the tunneling endpoint, we're going to confirm that this rule does not specify a tunnel is selected. So this rule does not specify a tunnel and it's selected, so we are going to click Next. We are on step 13. Network type should be all connections, should be selected, which it is. We're going to click Next. 14, on the IP filter page, we are going to click Add. And now on step 15, we're going to click the type text to add the Structured Reality IP filter list. And then we're going to click Add. Now we're on step 16, the IP filter wizard, and we're going to click Next. We can leave the description text here empty, but our main concern is to make sure that mirrored is selected, and we're going to click Next. We want to make sure that any IP addresses on the traffic source page is there, so that is what the focus is going to be. So we click Next. And also make sure any IP address on the destination page, and then click Next. On the IP protocol page, we're going to leave any selected, so we're going to click Next on step 20. And we've just completed the IP filter wizard. So now we want to make sure that the edit properties box is not checked, and it's not, so we're going to click Finish. That is step 21. So now we are returned to the IP filter list, and we're going to click OK. So now we want to make sure, we want to select the IP Structured Reality, and we want to click Next. Okay, and so now we're on step 23. So we return. So now we see we're on this filtered action page. So we've done step 23. Remember, make sure you check these off as you do them so that you know where you're at. always happens to me, so don't feel bad. And we want to make sure that we have the use wizard is checked. Okay, that's there, and we want to click add. So now the wizard is popping up. So we just completed step 24. We're on 25. So we can click next. We are on step 26, where we want to change the name to encrypt all things. So we're encrypting all communications. Hit next. Check this off. Step 26. We're on 27. We want to make sure that negotiate security is selected, and that is. So we're going to click next. 27. And we want to make sure that we, on the communicating with computers that do not support IPSec, do not allow unsecure communications. So we are going to select this. Click next. On the IP traffic security, we want to make sure that integrity and encryption is selected, and we want to hit next. On the completing the IP security filter, we want to make sure that the edit properties is not selected, so because we've completed that. We click finish, and now we should be returned to the security roles wizard, and we have encrypt all the things. So we want to select this and make sure this little radio button is selected and hit next. That is step 31. We want to use this key. We want to select use the string to protect the key exchange pre-shared key, and we want to type in, use the type text. Make sure that you select the box here or it will go back and you have to reselect it. Once you've done this, you have finished this step, and you can click finish and make sure the edit box is not selected. Now we are on this structured reality. We have the IPSec policy required screen, and it should be displaying with a checkbox IP structured reality filter, and if you expand this, it will say filter list, and we can select OK and check this off. So now we return to the local security policy window, and we have the policy. If you expand this screen, you'll see that it says structured reality IPSec policy required is displayed. So we want to right click on structured reality and click assign, and then select our score button, and that completed successfully. So we're going to check this off and move on. We want to now right click on the structured reality policy here and select unassign. 37 is done. We want to leave the policy window open, and we can confirm our work, and we can go on to the next step, next part of the lab. Hi everybody, and welcome to the last part of Lab 10 using IPSec tunneling. If you notice the dates and times off, I apologize. We had some corruption in the original recording of this lab, and we had to re-record it. So this is the re-recorded part of it. It was the same, so we just had to redo it. So let's get started. And first thing that we have to do on step 1 is to connect to PC 10 version 2023-06. So just go up here and change it, or you could use the quick launch. We were already in this, so we had to redo everything in the lab. So I was already logged in, so we can check step 1 off. And we're going to go to our search, our magnifying glass to search, and we are going to click the type text to find Wireshark easily, and click on it. And then we are, if your screen is not maximized to Wireshark, go right ahead. Right now, these are the interfaces that we have available to us for capturing traffic. So available that we can use to capture traffic. So step 4 is already checked. So what we want to do is isolate and double click on the Ethernet one, which is right here. Double click on it, and this will bring up our Wireshark capture. So now what we want to do is we are going to send in this lab, we're going to send some pings to different servers and different gateways so that we can generate some traffic and look at how it captures it. So next, what you want to do is click on the magnifying glass while that's running. That can run in the background, that's fine. And type CMD, and we want to click on the command prompt. And once we're on the command prompt, we can type our command ping, and it's an IP address of 10.1.24.10. There, 120, sorry. And we can check off step 6 and step 7. Once you have this already in here, you can go ahead and hit enter. You may have to hit enter twice. 4 packets are going to be sent of information, and we're going to see 4 sent, 4 received, so we can generate this traffic. All right, so now what we want to do is go to step 8, and we're going to ping our default gateway. And then hit enter, and we're going to generate 4 packets of information. Okay. Next, we're going to go back to our search here, our magnifying glass, and we're going to go to Edge. And if Edge is not configured, you're going to have some steps that you need to do to configure it. This is in your lab environment. We are on step 10. So you can start without syncing and confirm. If you want to use this default, you can change to dark. It doesn't affect the grading or the scoring of the lab. And then you want to go ahead and hit enter. Type this on step 12. Make sure you use the type text to type in DWA-structurality.com. So it's going to come up with this, the damn vulnerability web application. So we could check off step 11. Okay, so now we are going to connect to PC20. And if you don't have to log, you may or may not have to log in. I don't. And so now I am going to check off step 12, where I'm at right now, and go to step 13. We are going to hit the search button, or the search icon here, magnifying glass. And we are going to type CMD, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to ping some devices. Yeah. And if the lag wigs out on you, just try it again. And there it is. Came back up. So we are on step 14. Make sure you're checking these off. In this lab, there's 52 steps, I believe, and you need to make sure that you're keeping track of where you're at so you don't get confused. Now we're on step 14, so we're going to type our command to ping. Hit enter. And you have to hit it a couple of times. That is step 14. We are going to ping the default gateway again. We're going to hit enter again. There we go. We're generating traffic. And then we're going to click on the search and do the same thing. We're going to click on Edge. We are on step 16. We just completed that. Now we're on step 17. Start without your data. Continue browsing. And we're going to go to the same website that we did. I'm going to change this to the dark appearance for me. It's easier for me to read. And we are going to hit our checks in. Okay. So now that we're here, we're going to switch back to PC10. We're on step 19. And you may or may not need to re-log in. If you don't have to log in, then you can check off step 19. If you do, please make sure that you're entering this information in. We are now on step 20. So to access Wireshark, you're just going to go to the taskbar here, click on the shark fin, and there you go. You're back to Wireshark. Now what we got to do is stop capturing information. So you're going to click this red button here to stop capturing the information. Now, and this is what we call the apply display filter. This is going to filter information from all this data that we got, so it's easier to read for us. So we're going to enter HTTP, and you're going to click this arrow here for the apply display filter, and then this is exactly what you will see here as far as the information is concerned. So this is the traffic that we analyzed. This is we went to the website, and these are all the back-end network responses that we get from. We're looking over the result. We looked over the resulted captured packets. We should see in the destination is the source is coming from is the from, and the to is the destination. You should see that there is a PC1 that is going to right here. This is our destination for the website, and this is the IP address where we open up the browser from. And we access the website from the browser. Sorry, and we see that the information from PC20 was not captured, and this is because the communication for PC to PC20 are not set to the PC10 interface by the network's routing and switching design. So make sure you read over this information and understand it. And what that means is that the communication is not set for this interface. So we're going to go ahead and click on step 23. And now we want to delete the current display filter. You're going to do that by clicking this red X here. And then that will clear the display filter as well. Now we want to add another display filter to look at the information. So we're going to, on step 25, click the type text to type the filter in, and then you're going to click apply to look at this information. You want to ignore the destination unreachable packets. Those are unrelated to your intentional pinging from this lab. They're based on the connections that Windows makes to the internet service, which will fail because there is no internet for this lab. So these can be overlooked, okay? So you see that this display filter only shows the ICMP echo ping traffic from 10.1.24.100, which is PC10. And we should see 4 groups of this information, and we do. We see this 4, 1, 2, 3, counting wrong. 1, so as you can see, this is the information in step 25 that we're looking at. This information in pink. Okay, so you can check out step 25, and we have a question to answer. Why is there no ICMP traffic captured for the ping from 10.1.24.102 and 10.1.24.254. And the reason that there is no ICMP traffic captured for the ping from PC20 and the default gateway is because the traffic from PC20 to all non-PC10 systems was not sent to this to be captured, to this PC. We are on PC10, so it was not sent to be captured. So okay, so let's continue. Now we want to delete the current filter, click on the X. And now that we've deleted that we can check off step 26, and we want to start a new packet capture by selecting the Start Capture Packet button, and that is the little shark fin right here. So now we can continue without saving, and we are on step 28. Now we want to switch to the local security policy window, which is right here. Haven't closed this. So let's check these off before we lose track. And now we want to select Assign. Right click and select Assign on that policy. Now we want to switch over to PC20. And if we have to, we will log back into it. And we are on step 1 we have just completed, and we will go switch again to the local security policy here, and we will check off 32. And now we will right click on the policy that we created and also select Assign. So now we have completed step 33. So now we are going to switch to the command prompt window. You could do it a number of ways. I'm going to do it the easiest way on the taskbar. And we're going to send more pings. Step 34 is complete. We're on step 35. So you're going to type in or click the type text in for PC10, which is 10.1.24.101. We're going to hit enter. We're going to let our 4 replies generate. Should be no problem. And now we are going to switch back to PC10 on step 36. Now we're going to go back to the command prompt by clicking it on the taskbar. Step 37 is completed. And now we want to do another ping, and we are going to ping 10.1.24.102, which is PC20. And there we have our 4 pings of information going. We can check off step 38. We're going to ping the default gateway, so we should ping this. That's our IP address there, 10.1.24.254. We're going to hit enter. And there we go. And now we're going to switch to Microsoft Edge on the, okay. So now in here, you can press Control R to refresh, and it should refresh, or you can do the refresh here, and that'll work. Now we want to click on Instructions right here on the website on the left-hand pane. And we are on step 42. Step 43, we want to return to Wireshark. Let's go back to it here. And we're going to stop our picture capture and for step 44. Sorry, I said 24. Step 44. Now we want to put our filter here. We're going to use our type text to do that. And then we're going to click this blue arrow right here to click apply. And now we see some information in pink. So now we only see that the ICMP traffic is now visible between PC10 and the default gateway. So the reason that you do not see traffic, the ping traffic between PC10 and PC20 is because it is in a VPN. So it is encrypted, so you will not be able to see the communication between the two, those pings. And you can see that we do not see a ping from 102, and we don't see a ping to 102 from here. Okay, 46. So let's go ahead and clear these results. Now we want to add a display another display field and filter. And we are going to use HTTP. Click on this and click the apply button. Now we see a little bit more information than before. We see something that happens. We can see that because it was transmitted in plain text, we see this is the HTML text. Everything that you see is text, even though it's a combination between the two. We also see that we have, when we clicked on the instructions.php, that traffic was also captured. So now anything that was transmitted through the IPSec tunnel, and the reason that you can see this information is because it is not encapsulated within the VPN tunnel. So we can move on to the next step, which is step 49, and we can clear this display. And now we want to add one long filter, and we want to hit apply. So now we see that the current filter, display filter, we can delete the current display filter for the next one, but there is something that we need to talk about in here. So we see some packets of information between PC 20 and PC 21. I'm sorry, PC 10, not 21. And this is ISA KMP. These are packets. These are Internet Security Association Key Management Protocol. They relate to the encryption, and these are the negotiations between our IPSec tunnel that are taking place. So let's go ahead and clear this and finish our lab. And now we're on step 52. You can clear the field and then click on the type text here and then click the apply button. Now we're going to see the packets for ESP encapsulating security payload, which includes for both PC10 and PC20 IP addresses. We can see that information. This is the ESP is the primary encryption container for the IPSec tunnels. This is why we see this information here. And now we can check off our work and go